This is the leading news from the Albuquerque Journal. It's Thursday, July 30th. Here's what we're covering on today's episode. Stephanie Garcia Richard will join the Democratic ticket for New Mexico's 2026 gubernatorial race after being selected on Thursday as the party's nominee for lieutenant governor. Democrats chose the state land commissioner through ranked choice voting, with Garcia Richard narrowly defeating State Senator Harold Pope Jr. by a vote of 255 to 218. Tony Pendo and Jeffrey Luring each received a handful of votes. Garcia Richard replaces Secretary of State Maggie Toulouse Oliver, who withdrew from the race after winning June's Democratic primary due to health issues. In a statement, Garcia Richard says she's honored to join gubernatorial nominee Deb Haaland and pledged to focus on lowering costs, expand access to health care, improve public education, and build safer communities. The Democratic ticket of Haaland and Garcia Richard will face Republican nominees Greg Hall and David Gallegos in the November general election. Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham's office is pushing back against a lawsuit filed by Attorney General Raul Torres over CYFD's handling of a 15-year-old U.S. citizen who was sent to Mexico to reunite with his deported mother. The governor's office argues that a judge, along with New Mexico and Texas authorities, determined that the child should be reunited with his mother and says the Attorney General was aware of the plan before it happened. The DOJ disputes that claim, saying CYFD, not the court, chose to dismiss its abuse and neglect case, clearing the way for the reunification. According to the lawsuit, CYFD drove the teen to the El Paso border on July 6th and instructed him to cross into Mexico alone. The boy instead fled into El Paso and spent 10 days at a homeless shelter and was later escorted into Mexico by Texas authorities and the Mexican consulate. The DOJ alleges CYFD failed to properly investigate the child's relationship with his mother or consider his medical and behavioral health needs, while the governor's office argues returning him to New Mexico without a long-term plan could cause further trauma. The controversy has also become a campaign issue. Republican gubernatorial candidate Greg Hall is calling for greater transparency and accountability from the governor's office, while Democratic candidate Deb Haaland says the incident highlights the need for major reforms at CYFD, including replacing its leadership structure with an independent commission and strengthening child oversight. A heated Doña Ana County Commission meeting over the proposed Project Jupiter data center turned into chaos on Tuesday, prompting widespread criticism after a video showed security officers and deputies scuffling with protesters and a woman being knocked to the ground twice. The meeting, which drew supporters and opponents of the Oracle and OpenAI data center in Santa Teresa, became increasingly tense as commissioners struggled to maintain order during public comment. County Commission Chair Manny Sanchez defended his decision to remove disruptive attendees, saying he was trying to ensure everybody had a chance to speak. Critics, including U.S. Representative Melanie Stansberry, Las Cruces City Councilor Joanna Bencomo, and State Representative Angelica Rubio, condemned the response, arguing protesters were silenced and excessive force was used. Rubio says the incident reinforces calls for a statewide moratorium on new data centers. 3 protesters were arrested on misdemeanor charges, including one woman who was taken into custody after suffering a cut above her eye during the confrontation. All had pleaded not guilty. The meeting featured multiple layers of security, including sheriff deputies, private security hired by the county, and a security team accompanying an Oracle executive. County officials have not clarified what authority private security personnel had, and Chairman Sanchez said he was told they were not supposed to physically handle members of the public. The Santa Fe City Council has approved a plan to make the historic plaza fully pedestrian-only during the busy tourist season, beginning in 2027. In a 6-2 vote on Wednesday night, councilors agreed to close East San Francisco Street, the last roadway still open to regular traffic around the plaza, for Memorial Day through Halloween or Dias de los Muertos, whichever comes first. The other 3 surrounding streets are already closed for most of the year. The decision came after a lengthy public comment period and multiple amendments. Councilors rejected a proposal from Mayor Michael Garcia that would have kept one lane open for vehicles and cyclists, but did approve a measure requiring the city to review the policy after its first season and consider changes based on public feedback. Supporters say a fully pedestrian plaza will improve safety and create a more welcoming space for residents and visitors, while opponents argue the closure could disrupt local traditions, including Hispanic cruising culture, and raise concerns about emergency access. The seasonal street closure is scheduled to begin in the spring of 2027. The leading news is powered by the journalism of the Albuquerque Journal. If you enjoy hearing all of the stories we share with you here daily, please consider becoming a digital subscriber to the Journal by utilizing the discount code in our show notes. Every subscription helps support local journalism and allows us to provide you with the news that matters to you. Now taking a look at Albuquerque's weather forecast. Today you can expect sunny and hot skies with a high near 102, and as for this evening, partly cloudy with a low around 69. To keep up with all the latest news from the Albuquerque Journal, you can visit our website at abqjournal.com. That's the leading news. I'm Gino Gutierrez. We'll be back tomorrow.